Chris Farfoy.
Thank you very much, Mr Chair, for giving me the opportunity to speak to the title and commencement of the Student Loan Scheme Amendment Bill. A number of suggestions were put forward by Grant Robertson as to a better title for this bill, but I'd like to suggest that we call it Student Loan Scheme Second Wave Attack by a National Amendment Bill, because we saw the first wave attack come in their first term of government when they restricted the access of older New Zealanders to get their student loan. So what we've got in front of us today is the second wave attack from the National Party, and really it isn't much of an attack because it doesn't really set out and achieve what this bill sets out to achieve, because we've already heard that this bill will only bring in another $14 million of revenue by bringing in these provisions, especially around the repayment holiday. So, Mr Chair, in terms of the second wave attack, it builds up a narrative about National and its commitment to student loans. They don't believe in them at all. And we've already heard from John Key that he thinks that this is economic madness to keep interest-free student loans.
Order. Title and commencement.
We've already heard around, in terms of what I've suggested, the bill should be called in the Student Loan Scheme Second Wave Attack by a National Government Amendment Bill. Why do we think it's called that? Because of the lack of commitment of National to the student loan scheme. And we've already heard from the Prime Minister, a rather large missile thrown in terms of the second wave attack that I'm talking about around his commitment to the student loan scheme. He says it's economic madness to continue the interest-free part of the student loan scheme. In fact, he says if it wasn't for the politics of it, he wouldn't keep it. So, Mr Chair, in terms of calling this the second wave attack bill, we really do think that National is struggling to continue its commitment to what Labor brought in 2005 to ensure there were no barriers for New Zealanders to enter tertiary education. Mr Chair, we believe that if National were actually going to bring in a bill, it would be the student loan scheme interest-free loan aspect repeal bill. Because we don't believe that the National Party is committed to student loans, interest-free student loans at all. Mr Chair, in terms of that second wave attack that I've talked about around the title of the bill, we've already heard around the lack of extra revenue that it brings in.
Order. If the member is not going to talk about title and commencement, I will terminate his speech.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr Chair, for that clarification. In terms of the title of the bill that I think that this should be called the Student Loan Scheme Second Wave Attack by National Amendment Bill, we've already seen what...
Can you get to 5 minutes? Give us some other title.
Sorry. It's a slight interruption. Well, maybe we should call it the Student Loan Scheme. Simon Bridges is getting interest-free on the student loan bill. Maybe we should call it. Maybe we should call it that. Maybe we should call it that. But the one that I wanted to bring to the House today, Mr Chair, was the Student Loan National Second Wave Attack on Student Loans Amendment Bill. And it is a good name. Thank you very much, Ruth Dyson, and welcome to the House, because we don't believe there is a commitment from National around making sure that this student loan scheme stays interest-free. We don't believe they have. We believe they have launched the second wave attack because of what it has done in the first wave by reducing the access.
Speech is terminated.
Thank you, Mr Chair.
Holly Walker.
Thank you, Mr Chair, for the